Good morning and happy Tuesday, everybody. Still in mourning, not ready to give it up after what happened on Sunday. So we're gonna stand strong and be fans, which is interesting because it really ties in with what I want to talk to you about. Why I'm here today. I'm gonna get some comments from you guys, which I welcome. I definitely do, but I want to address them. So I'm gonna give you some backstory about me. I know it seems like I rant and rave about Apple, 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 Apple all the time, on my iPhone and my Mini and my MacBook and my time capsule and all these things. And it seems like that's all I do. I just live and breathe Apple. I want to explain. I need you to understand something about me. A few years ago, I was such an Apple hater. I know everybody's running around calling me, this Kool-Aid drinking Apple fanboy. But a few years back, I got people that'll vouch for this. I wouldn't even watch a QuickTime video because it's made by Apple. Just out of spite. So I was like, the hell with Apple. I don't need them. Apple, Mac, anything related to that. I don't need it. I don't want it. Get it out of my life. And I wouldn't even watch a QuickTime video. That's how I wouldn't install it. That was it. Now I've made the conversion. And I've got a full-time job and we use Windows there, and I function just fine on Windows. People tell me that I'm skewing numbers in favor of Apple, that I'm saying that the iPhone sold 2 million units in 36 minutes or something ridiculous. I don't know. The article that I wrote, I don't see that anywhere in there. I mentioned 50,000 and 30,000 units, and I'm talking about UK sales specifically, so I don't know where this 2 million came in. They'll look to come back and talk about how Microsoft has 93% of the market, the OS market, and I know, I don't really recall mentioning any articles about operating systems either. I've been talking a lot about the tablet, iPhone, things that are tying in, merging technologies. They're hooking in with mobile technologies, Apple versus Google. I've been talking a lot about that sort of stuff. But, I'm not upplaying things about Apple in ways that they haven't actually done it. I'm not downplaying anybody else. You know what I mean? Look, if the product works and the product fits you, then use it. I'm not a gamer. If I played games, then I probably wouldn't be sitting here recording this on a Mac today. Because I understand that's just not what they do. But I don't do that either. I used to think that Apples and Macs were only for, designers and people who didn't know any better. I'm neither of those categories, and I use it. And it works for me. Linda, she's got the Mac Mini. I just bought her for her birthday. She uses it. She loves it. Why? It's simple. It doesn't require a whole lot of overhead. She can check your email and her Facebook and surf the web, and look for new and exciting ways to spend money on this wedding, all on a Mac very simply. She could get a Windows machine too, but since I've got Macs in the house, I try to keep everything standard. They are more expensive. If you've got a tight wallet, they're not going to be for you. I understand these things. I guess the reason why I seem to focus on them is because they are newsworthy. All right, the company, Apple, is newsworthy right now. They've got a lot happening. The iPhone, groundbreaking 2 years ago or 2.5 years ago, still to this day. Everybody eagerly anticipates the arrival of the next iPhone. People still wait online. Let me tell you, I'm not playing that trick again. I'll get it when I get it. I'll definitely get it as soon as possible, but standing outside in line, driving all over the place, calling around people, trying to mitigate the time lost, my iPhone delivery latency into my hands is what I used to do. It's asinine. I'm not playing that game anymore. So they're doing that. They've got things happening. The tablet, big news. I don't care whether you love Apple or you hate Apple. You got to admit, it's been big news lately. Apple's the end of the romance with Google. Big news. They're doing things. Steve Jobs is a person. He left. He got thrown out of the company, his own company. He came back. He had cancer and he left. He came back. The way they market things, very tight-lipped about stuff. All right. So now we'll look at Microsoft. On the other hand, okay. Let's see. When's the last time you heard anybody saying, "Oh, I can't wait for the new Windows Mobile to come out. Oh, I'm so excited. I'm going to run down. I'm going to wait in line, and I'm going to be the only one, but I don't care. I'm going to be there first because Windows Mobile, Nobody says that. All right? I'm not making this up. I am not skewing this in favor of Apple. I'm not making this up. I mean, this is the case. Nobody gives a shit about Windows Mobile. All right? Windows machines? Oh, Windows doesn't make machines. Third-party people. Dell. When's the last time you heard somebody say, oh, man, I got to run out and get that new Dell. Or Dell's doing something that nobody's done before. Again, you don't hear that either. And even if you did, still doesn't apply to Microsoft. Nobody gives a shit. All right? So what are they doing? You know, okay, Windows 7. Windows 7 came out. It was supposed to be a big deal. Why was it a big deal? What was the big thing everybody was talking about, though? How special it was? What it was going to do? Or why it was going to be cool in the way that it fixed the problems of Vista? Was it cool in and of itself? Or was it cool because it patched up the disaster that Windows Vista was? And I had Vista. I loved XP. I have an XP machine in the other room. I mean, I don't use it a whole lot. I don't have a lot of need for it. I live on my MacBook. You know, it's one machine. It's good enough, you know. But, I mean, I have an XP machine. I've got XP at work. It's solid. Rock solid. And it works. You know. So, I mean, I can't complain. But it doesn't suit me, so I don't use it. Why am I not talking about Windows or Microsoft? They're not doing anything worth talking about. Yeah, they've got 93% of the OS market or 96% of the OS market or whatever it is that they have. They've got that. They've had that for a long time. Because Microsoft's been about quantity. Always have. They have a lot of quantity. They put Windows out to as many people as possible. That's what they do. And they do it inexpensively because of the volume that they do. And it works. You know, and that's why they've got this hold. But, you know, why is Apple selling, you know, last quarter, like, you know, why'd they have like 30% of desktop and laptop sales? I mean, that's still not going to permeate through the whole ownership across the world, and it really changed the percentage. That's just this past quarter, and it was people with double machines or whatever the case, people making a transition. But they're still, I mean, they're doing more per quarter than they've ever done before in sales, you know. So, I mean, obviously, only 30%, so they're not even half. I get that. But more than before, more than the 3% they used to have. All right, so listen, the bottom line is, look, I'm here to help. I'm here to talk about things. You guys are not feeding me topics, which, you know, I wish you would. And I have things to talk about. I do have something else tomorrow I want to discuss. I was going to write an article, but I think it's better suited for video. But we'll see. Whatever. But, you know, this is what's in the news. You know, I spend all day. I mean, I read Engadget, cover to cover. You know, digital, cover to cover. I read through all the Mashable stuff. You know, I mean, newspapers. You know, I'm everywhere. I'm everywhere, all day long. You know, just reading, seeing what's new, what I can talk about, what I can write about. You know, what else is gonna be on Vig the Geek and text, whatever. You know, what I want to retweet, what's exciting, and frankly, it happens to be Apple stuff right now. You know, Microsoft, get on the ball, man. Dump Steve Ballmer. I mean, you know, forget it. Guy's been on board 10 years, and he's had just as many disasters. I mean, you know, maybe it's not even his fault, just fresh blood. You know, let's get some new people in over there at Microsoft, have some fun with things, right? Anyway, listen, don't fault me. I'm just talking about what I think is exciting. If you think something exciting, you want to discuss it with me, send me a video response on YouTube. Send me an email at, you know, vig@vigthegeek.com. There it is. At jvig on Twitter. Send me a tweet there. Follow me there. What else do we have? Vig the Geek has a fan page on Facebook now since the last video. You know, Examiner, search for Jason Viglione. Whatever, absolutely everywhere. Twitter, Tumblr, Facebook, you know, email, here, iTunes. Forgot about iTunes. Couldn't believe I almost forgot about iTunes. I mean, anyway, I'm out there. Find me. Give me questions. Give me topics. Start some banter. Get this relationship going, you know, and then we'll talk about other things. In the meantime, I'm going to talk about what's in the news, and what's in the news right now, big time, it's Apple, you know. When Apple and Microsoft were both in the news together, I talked about them immediately. So I'm not showing favoritism. I'm not going crazy, you know, ignoring things or being biased or being a fanboy, you know, Kool-Aid stays at home, you know, all this is iced tea, no Kool-Aid, you know what I mean? Point is, you know, what's interesting, right? Anyway, once again, Vig the Geek, find me online, let's talk.